This is episode 132 of the Battle of Ohio podcast. We've got a ton to talk about in this episode, man.
Yeah, we do.
We've got outgoing. We've got incoming. We got players all over the place for the Cincinnati Bengals, the Cleveland Browns, the Pittsburgh Steelers, Baltimore Ravens. There's been a lot that's happened since we put out our last episode. A lot of Lamar Jackson stuff that we wanted to get to and just wasn't able to get to. But we're continuing to have the Lamar Jackson conversation. Just like
we are continuing to have Lamar Jackson. You know the other thing that we just missed out on the last couple of weeks.
What's that?
How we didn't have a chance to talk about The Last of Us. Such a great series on HBO.
I haven't seen it. I'm gonna kill that one right now. I haven't seen it.
Never mind. Let's do the intro.
All right. Well, no, but before we do that, we always have to start it off the way we always started off, because the Steelers. There's not really a whole lot. There's not a whole lot to say about them. Because why, Thomas?
Good. The Steelers, Kenny Pickett, the whole city of Pittsburgh, of Kennywood, Kenny Pickett in his little hands. You suck, Pittsburgh.
Welcome to the Battle of Ohio podcast, where we follow the revival of the historic rivalry between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Cleveland Browns.
Hey, look at that. I remember to do the intro. Before we get started, Mikey's already over here commenting. He says he started a podcast with his dad on Spotify. It's awesome, Mikey.
Nice.
Let me know. Let me know the name of it. We'll put it up on the screen here, and people go watch that.
Mike and Dad. That sounds like a nice little podcast. Having a father-son podcast, dude. That's like the dream.
That's cool, man.
Like that's really cool, dude. Like that is really cool, dude. That's a really cool thing.
Murphy's been wanting to do a podcast with me, but he's like 8, so I'm like,
yeah.
I don't know about that, buddy.
No, don't do that.
Right. All right. So, basically the concept that we're going to do in this episode, I already put out a video about how I feel about the Bengals free agency, and I gave them a grade. So we kind of already know how I feel about like the Bengals free agency, but we're going to go over that one too, right?
Okay.
But if you guys want a more in-depth view of that, go check out my channel. Kyle Phelps. Go check out my channel. I've got a whole video about the Bengals grades. But we're going to go through the Bengals. We're going to go through the Browns. And then later during the state of the AFC North, we're going to go through the Ravens. We're going to go through the Steelers, right? Mm-hmm. Mikey says it's called Inside the NOLA Sports Podcast. All right. So if you want some inside stuff to, whatever's going on with New Orleans sports and stuff like that, that'd be a good one to go check out.
Yeah, talk about Zion.
Yeah, I want to hear. Look, I'm not a big basketball guy. I've been getting a little bit more into it lately because, like, a video editing client of mine has been having me do basketball videos. And from what I understand, Zion just hasn't been playing. So, I kind of want to know what's up with Zion too.
Yeah, what's up with that?
I mean, I think he got hurt still.
Yeah, he should have just been an NFL tight end. Anyway.
Okay. All right, but anyway, that's not like this is the basketball podcast, so I guess let's get into let's get into the free agency stuff so far. So let's start with the Bengals because half the people who are going to be watching this show have probably already seen my opinion about the Bengals, and maybe they want to hear what you think about the Bengals so far. So out of everything the Bengals just as a quick overview, the Bengals started out right away. It was just loss after loss after loss. We were just losing these big players. It was Jesse Bates leaving and Von Bell leaving and Hayden Hurst leaving and Samaje Perine left at one point. And, we're all wondering are the Bengals going to have any players left when we're all done with this? But then things kind of started coming in. We had a huge, absolutely massive Orlando Brown Jr. signing.
That was big.
Jermaine Pratt re-signed, and we thought there was no chance he was coming back, and that one was huge. We signed Nick Scott to fill the Von Bell void, and we signed him for a lot less money than Von Bell's getting paid by the Panthers. So I actually think that that's a pretty good move personally.
Mhm.
We brought in Irv Smith to replace Hayden Hurst, and Irv Smith, like potential. I think he has about Hayden Hurst's like passing game potential. He's
Yeah.
not quite there yet, but he's a much better pass blocker, and I like bringing him in for that. So I mean, those are the main moves that the Bengals have made so far. I believe I gave the Bengals I think it was a B. I think I gave them a B for the whole thing. So what do you think?
I really like what they're doing to try and. It just felt like they really focused on the key thing is trying to protect Joe Burrow. So having a nice pass blocking tight end just creates more time for Joe Burrow because your offense is in. You got so many other weapons on offense,
Mm-hmm.
So like when you have weapons like Jamar Chase and T. Higgins on the corner and Tyler Boyd, you want to just focus on trying to get that tight end spot to be better for protection of Joe Burrow. The longer Joe Burrow has to throw, the more passing yards you can make.
Speaking of T. Higgins, the rumor is that the Bengals have finalized an extension with him. It just hasn't been signed and reported. But the rumor is that the T. Higgins deal is done. So
that's big because you don't want T. Higgins and Jamar Chase to break up.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but I'm low key excited about our little receiver that we got. Low key.
Yeah, well, we'll talk. We will talk about that. We will talk about that.
I'm low key excited.
As far as protecting Joe Burrow goes, though, you got a really good point. I think that's part of why they brought in Irv Smith.
Yeah.
I mean, they brought in Cody Ford, who's like a nobody, but just like somebody like we don't know what's going on with right tackle because Jonah Williams wants to trade, and we don't know like Lyle Collins might be coming back soon. He might not be coming back soon. We don't know what's up with his injury status. But I mean, you brought in Orlando Brown Jr. and you theoretically have a pretty good plan at right tackle. You brought back Max Sharping, brought in Cody Ford, and then like you said, you brought in You brought in Irv Smith. The one thing I feel they still really need to do, because honestly, what Joe Burrow's biggest problem with like getting pressures and sacks last year wasn't the offensive line. Like the offensive line definitely was problematic at times, but the biggest problem is that like nobody to save their lives could figure out how to block from the running back spot or the tight end spot. Like he was just like if anybody was bringing an extra blitzer, it was pretty much over. It was pretty like Burrow's either going to have to get rid of the ball quickly, or somebody's going to get run through. There was just no hope of protecting him in like an unconventional way.
Yeah, man, you guys always want to have a daily offense, though.
Didn't always last year.
I don't think. What's something crazy about it is I don't think that we've seen the best of Joe Burrow yet. I don't. I think Joe Burrow have another year. And I think we're going to see it.
Yeah, I agree with that. I don't think he's reached his height yet.
Oh, I don't think he has either. I think he got some ways to go. He's cold, man. And like, if you just keep on just throwing like darts at the board with this guy and those weapons, one of these years he's just going to catch fire at the right moment. And if he just had like one extra second, y'all would have won a Super Bowl. If that man had one extra second, just a half a second, y'all would have won a Super Bowl.
Well, like, honestly, if Joe Burrow had a bit better protection in the AFC Championship, we would have gone to another Super Bowl. Like, I mean, there's this idea that the Bengals are done because they didn't go to the Super Bowl last year. But like, don't forget, we still went to the AFC Championship, and the
Bengals are going to be good. The Bengals are going to be good for a long time. The Bengals and the Browns are going to be good for a long time.
Mikey's asking why every former Saints player signed with a division rival. And like, man, I don't know why they all went to Carolina, or like Jesse Bates went to Atlanta. Man, I don't know.
That's how I feel as a Browns fan right now.
I was kind of hoping we get CJ Gardner-Johnson, former Saints player right there, but he ended up going to Detroit. But anyway, Thomas, before we move on to the Browns, Give me just to get an idea, guys that we haven't re-signed who probably aren't like at this point. I think it's pretty much like there's one guy who I think might make a comeback, but it's gonna be like during training camp, if nothing. Like it's like after the draft, nothing happened the way they wanted it to happen, and it's just kind of like over. But like that's Eli Apple. I think Eli Apple could potentially make a comeback, but right now it looks like they're moving on from him. Trey Flowers is gone. Brandon Allen, I think he's gone. Drew Sample's gone. Clark Harris hasn't been re-signed, and to be honest, I think I think they're about ready. He's 38, so I think they're about ready to move on from him. Mitch Wilcox, who is pretty much a nobody, but because of our tight end depth last year, he ended up being our number 2 tight end. So, I mean, he's gone, but like consider there a whole lot of like depth players and stuff like that, except Eli Apple, who might potentially come back, maybe. But like, what grade would you give the Bengals for all that?
Honestly, I gotta agree with you. I'll give the Bengals like a B plus, A minus actually.
We'll talk about that in a minute, Mikey.
No. I'll give them an A minus because they're like it's not about having a loud off season. Like it's the off season is so weird because anybody can win an off season. Just you can make a flashy move and quote unquote win the off season. And one thing that you're seeing from the Bengals is stability. And I'm really liking how they have a plan. They're sticking to this plan. They're not worried. There's not a circus in Cincinnati right now. Mm-hmm. So I think that they're very headstrong with it. So I give them an A minus or B plus in that area because I just feel like they didn't do anything super duper flashy, but they did everything that was necessary for their growth. So they made smart moves.
I agree with that. There's a couple of things.
Yeah, I think they just did what was necessary.
Yeah.
That's the best way I can grade it. They're just like, we just need to do the right things to be smart.
Yeah.
Because, because here's another thing about this, all of this. Y'all going to have to give Joe Burrow his contract soon.
Yeah.
That's like, I just been thinking, I don't know why, like, I low key, like, I hear everybody talking about it, but I don't hear people like really thinking about what happens when you have a big contract player on your team as a quarterback. And he's going to get a deal.
He is, but I think that's why they're doing things the way they're doing them. Because here's a big thing that I have got to get off my chest. One thing, real quick before we do that, I just want to point out exotic soy sauce. What a name! What a name! What an exotic soy sauce! Interesting. Crypt Keeper asked what comes first, and this ties into what I was going to talk about, which is why I want to bring it up. Crypt Keeper asked what comes first, a Burrow extension or a Drew Sample re-signing. Getting worried about tight end. I get being worried about tight end. I wouldn't worry about it too much though, because I think the Bengals are like they brought in Irv Smith. That's a good signing, and I think they're going to draft a guy, and that's going to be the number. I don't think it. Like I wouldn't mind bringing back Drew Sample for like a small amount of money because he's a good blocker, but I don't know. I don't really see him coming back. Joe Burrow's extension though, they're from what I understand that one they're working hard on that one. So I wouldn't worry too much about Joe Burrow, but that's what they're doing right now, Thomas, and playing off of your point, they're getting ready for these big extensions. They're making moves because, like for example, they're going to get Nick Scott and letting Von Bell walk so they can free up $10 million to pay T. Higgins and Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase next year, right? They went and they knew they needed to make a big splash at the offensive line. So they signed Orlando Brown Jr., who Chiefs fans want to act. Chiefs fans want to act like we think Orlando Brown Jr. is like basically Joe Thomas, right? That's what they think we think Orlando Brown Jr. is, right? Like we think he's going to come and he's going to change he's going to be the best. He's the next Anthony Munoz and everything. It's like, no, that's not what we think Orlando Brown Jr. is. What we think Orlando Brown Jr. is a massive upgrade from what we had, which is Jonah Williams allowing the most sacks in the NFL at the position. He's better than that. And we also think we paid him $16 million a year, which if you average that out for like all the other tackles in the NFL, by the way, not including guys who are on a rookie contract, but everybody who's gotten a contract, He's like I think the 17th highest paid offensive lineman in the NFL. Or offensive tackle. He's the 17th highest paid offensive tackle in the NFL. And Orlando Brown Jr. is damn sure at least the 17th best offensive tackle in the NFL. So I think that's a great deal. And I think it's also a hell of a lot less than what the Chiefs offered him last year. So I think the Bengals are making a lot of smart money moves. The one thing I'm worried about, and the one reason why I might say maybe it's more like a B- right now instead of a B for me, is because I don't know what the hell we're doing at running back. Like Joe Mixon's apparently getting in trouble again, and we don't know what's going on with that. Samaje Perine's gone.
Oh, fixing running back's easy, dude. You know how you fix running back, Kyle? You draft one.
But
you just draft one.
Okay, but you might need to draft two. That's the problem because Samaje
Perine's gone. Draft two. They're running backs.
But we only have so many picks. We don't want to just pick a bunch of running backs.
You have one. Which one you want? Let me go through my book. Okay, let's see.
I also really hope to God we don't take a guy in the first round.
Here, you got to do it. Here, I can meet you so.
You know who I want to sign at running back? You know who I want to sign at running back? And it's actually a pretty good transition. I want the Bengals to sign
Kareem Hunt.
Dearness Johnson.
Oh, ooh. Well, no, he went somewhere already. He went to Jacksonville.
Is he? Oh, yeah. I thought he was a free agent. Okay, well.
No, yeah, he is.
I don't
really
want
Jacksonville.
Hunt.
But he's. Yeah, no, I don't think anybody does.
Is Kareem Hunt a good blocker? I never looked that up.
Oh, he's a great blocker.
Oh, well, then maybe Kareem Hunt then. I don't know because I've been toying around the idea with I've been toying around the idea with Ezekiel Elliott. It's not like he's any good anymore, but he's a damn good blocker.
No, Kareem Hunt, no, they're not even like sweating, like losing Kareem Hunt, man, because that Jerome Forbes kid is about to be insane. Like, that Jerome Forbes kid is going to be so freaking good.
You're right about Dearness Johnson. He went to Jacksonville. So I wouldn't mind Kareem Hunt as long as, let's say, according to Spotrac, his market value is $7 million a year, which that's a bit rich for me. So maybe not for that. Maybe we're only going to get $7 million a year, but maybe like 4 or 5. You know, I'd be okay with tossing Kareem Hunt 4 or 5 if he wants, like a 3, like basically give him a contract that guarantees him that money throughout the rest of his prime. That way he doesn't have to keep getting new contracts every year. And he knows that up until the point where he's basically not really going to be he's over the hill as a running back anyway. At that point, then it's like, then maybe he's going to retire anyway at that point. I don't know. But we're definitely going to guarantee him, hey, you're definitely going to get this money through your prime. And maybe we can pay him that through age 29. That way he has a chance to go sign one more big contract before he's probably done, right?
Yeah. I mean,
but
he's not. I mean, dude, he's a good running back, but he just he plays so rugged. He only got a few more years doing that, man. And he lost his step.
We just need a Band-Aid, to be honest with you.
He lost his step. He got injured when he came back.
So did Joe Mixon, but we're paying him $12 million a year.
I would get rid. I told you a while ago I would have got rid of Joe Mixon. I would get rid of him. You want to run back here? Have a running back. Here, have 3 months. Have 3 months, dude. Just take him. Man, we got so many running backs. Whatever.
I don't want to get rid of Joe Mixon. I want to restructure Joe Mixon's contract, and I wouldn't mind bringing in Kareem Hunt as kind of a 1-2 punch there. But
man, Dearness Johnson would have been
$12
good.
million, I'm not sure I want Joe Mixon.
Dearness Johnson, dude, is really freaking good. Dearness Johnson is really freaking good. That's how good the running back room is.
Crypt Keeper wants to know how you feel about Ford.
That's why I'm happy Kareem Hunt's gone. If I'm being real with you, the reason why I'm so happy, Kareem, I love you. If I love you for what you do for the city, I love you for being from Cleveland and everything. I think you're a great running back. You're a better running back than I ever be in my ever life. But dude, sometimes I gotta say goodbye because there's this guy named Jerome Forbes. and he's insane. And I have him next to Nick Chubb. It'll just be so much scarier than him and Kareem Hunt because those two will be so explosive, man. Yeah, I love Jerome Ford. I can't wait. That's why I'm like, bye, Kareem. Bye, Kareem.
All right, so
It's Ford time.
Grading the Browns off season so far. That's what our next step is. Big signings include. Big signings include.
Wait, before we say that, before we get to the Browns,
okay.
what do you think of my? You think that's a good grade though, right? A minus, B plus, A minus.
That's higher than I would. But this is for a third year in a row, Thomas. You're giving the Bengals a better grade than I gave them. So, but every year, Thomas comes on.
Am I always right, dude?
No, dude, I think the Bengals are great. I
don't understand. Like, I'm legit scared of y'all, man. Like, I've been saying this for a minute, man. Like, and I'm always right, dude. Like, I remember the year I went to the Super Bowl. I'm at the stadium. The Browns are just whooping y'all, and I'm talking all this shit. And I'm looking at the person next to me. I'm like, y'all gonna be fine. Y'all know that, right? Like this boy Joe Burrow, man, this kid's special. Like y'all are like, they're like, no, we're not gonna make the playoffs. Like, no, dude, you understand? You got this phenom at receiver, and this phenom at quarterback, and then you got T. Higgins. This offense is gonna be nuts. And like, I literally was so scared. I'm like, yeah, let me leave the stadium because this is not gonna be a great day. Because I knew y'all were gonna bounce back.
Look, I'm sure the
Bengals bouncing back because I got this dude named freaking Joe Burrow who's the LeBron of football.
Look, I'm sure the Bengals are going to be. The Bengals are going to be great. I'm not saying the Bengals aren't going to be great. What I'm saying is, when it comes to grading just this offseason, I feel like, from my perspective, I feel like a B minus. You said A minus. You're allowed to feel that way. I said B minus because I do feel the Bengals improved. I just don't think the Bengals got way better.
I get that.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, if the Bengals had stayed the same, it'd be a C.
Watch I go to the Super Bowl too.
Okay.
I'll be chilling there. I'm gonna be like, damn, I was right. I didn't want to be right.
All right.
Y'all gonna be so good. Y'all gonna be so good next year.
So Browns grades. Big moves include bringing in Dalvin Tomlinson. That's a huge one. That one's big. That one's like us bringing in DJ Reader. Honestly, that was huge. I love that move for you guys. I hate that. I hate it, but from an objective standpoint, I love it. Right?
Yeah.
Juan Thornhill, I think that's a really good, especially replacing John Johnson. That's a great move right there. A little expensive, but like that's definitely an upgrade from John Johnson.
Yeah, definitely. Dude, by the way, talk about players that I really don't want to ever see again. John Johnson.
Yeah.
Like this dude talks the most shit. It doesn't back up the business. Like, dude, man. Like, it's so frustrating. Art's so fine. Joe Woods was a bad coach, but we can't neglect the fact that we had disruption in the locker room too. Like, you're not Myles Garrett, so bye.
Right.
So we don't need that in the locker room.
So the big move that we have to talk about, Thomas, when it comes to the Browns, like I was floored. Like I mean, do you see what you guys are doing here? It's insane. Y'all let Jacoby Brissett go to Washington. What's wrong with you? Okay, but no.
We had to uproot Carson Wentz. You suck, Carson.
There you go.
You suck so bad that we beat you with our starting quarterback, and they were like, "Damn, we need to get their backup quarterback."
I was thinking the same thing, Mikey. I was thinking the same thing about John Johnson, Eli Apple vibes. I was thinking the same thing about him. By the way, Crypt Keeper wants to know how long you've been a Browns fan.
I've been a Browns fan since I would say 2000 and shit. That's a lie. Probably 99. No, I probably came out I've been a Browns fan my entire life. There's never been another football team I ever rooted for besides the Browns.
I mean, that's right. Like, I mean,
like I can't even no, there's never been a moment like it was like who like there was never a moment somebody said who's your favorite football team and I didn't say the Browns.
Well, what year were you
I don't
born?
think there's ever 94. I was born one year before their move. But there was never a moment of my life where I ever
could have been born a Browns fan.
I don't know when I got aware about the Browns. I'll probably say 6th grade, maybe, is when when they went to playoffs. But I never. I don't know. I can't think of a moment I was ever not a Browns fan.
Yeah. I was aware of the Bengals going back to like 5 years old. Like my dad had season tickets, so like I believe 1997 was the first year I went to like every Bengals game. But I was a Bengals fan before that because my dad's a nut job when it comes to the Bengals. So like I'm not gonna come from being raised by that and not be a Bengals fan. Like unless I'm just an asshole. I could have been an asshole, but yeah, I chose to save my assholeness for other things.
No, yeah, I was 4 years old wearing a Browns jacket. yeah.
All right. So, but the Jacoby Brissett thing was a joke, by the way. Y'all got Bill Cosby at quarterback, so you don't have to worry so much about Jacoby Brissett.
Go ahead, keep on bringing in thoughts.
But anyway, the real thing, I will say, I do want to point out, I think low key losing Greedy Williams to Philadelphia is a not so great move for you guys. Like that's kind of a low key. Like I don't think that's so good, but it's also not like Greedy Williams is like losing like God, why can't I think of his name? Your starting cornerback.
We got Ward, Newsome, and.
Ward.
Yeah, and
it's not like losing Greedy Williams is like losing Denzel Ward.
Yeah, no, the Browns are crazy good at picking their cornerbacks. So, like, they just pulled the rabbit out of their hat last year. We're getting a cornerback. They're pretty set at corner. I think our secondary is going to be fine, honestly.
Yeah, I don't think losing Greedy Williams is that big of a deal. But anyway, the real big thing we have to talk about with the Browns is like, holy shit, your receiving core. Like, yeah, like you already had Amari Cooper, and you already had a pretty you had Donovan Peoples-Jones, and I mean you already had a pretty decent receiving core, and then on top of that you're adding Marquise Goodwin, and you're adding what's his name?
Elijah Moore.
Elijah Moore,
baby. You got David Bell. So now you got a receiving core that's fast and quick and could roll with kind of Deshaun Watson style. And now you can kind of create and be creative with a different kind of style of offense. And, look, I want to kind of talk up Kevin Stefanski and Deshaun Watson for a second. Because, I really do think that this actually does have the potential to be something special. And I feel like people get so caught up and talking about the Browns. They're like, oh, yeah, the Browns are the Browns. Oh, yeah, the Browns are this. And, oh, yeah, I heard this before. The same old, same old. Well, hey, everybody, just shut up and just think about what's going on currently. You have this guy at quarterback who led the league in passing. He threw 30 touchdowns. He's an awesome runner. He's a great passer. And then because he had 6 okay games, he didn't have horrible games. He was like Johnny Manziel out there.
That first game against the Texans was pretty awful. Like, y'all won, but...
That was his very first game. But he hasn't played with the team the entire year. You also got to realize that he came in at the end of the season, and while everybody else was already geared up through the season. So, players aren't at their best until the 4th or 5th game anyway. So it wasn't even at the NFL speed yet. Like, it was just a lot to catch up from. in a short amount of time. But he had 6 games to shake that rust off. He's going to have a full off season. He's going to be able to go through a full preseason now. And he's going to have full practice with his whole team. He's going to have less distractions. It's going to be a different atmosphere. And then you have a guy in Kevin Stefanski who got the best out of every single quarterback that he ever had. He got the best out of Baker Mayfield. He got the best out of what's his name? Who's the quarterback in Minnesota right now?
Kirk Cousins.
Kirk Cousins. He got the best out of Kirk Cousins. He got the best out of Kirk Cousins. Yes. Yes. No, he got the best out of Case Keenum.
He did get the best out of Case Keenum. I'll give you that.
Yeah,
I feel like Kirk Cousins has untapped potential.
Okay, you know what? Look, no, he doesn't.
I think he does. I think Kirk Cousins could be better than he is.
We've seen the absolute best of Kirk Cousins.
We have but I feel like he could have been better.
We have seen it. We know what the best Kirk Cousins is. And you know what? The best Kirk Cousins, the right circumstance, the right moment could win a Super Bowl. Joe Flacco won a Super Bowl.
Joe Flacco did win a Super Bowl. Yeah, he did. And so did,
Joe Flacco won a
Brad Johnson and Trent Dilfer. And yes,
I bet you the 49ers had Kirk Cousins, they can win a Super Bowl.
You know what? You've got a good point, Thomas. I think it is quite possible the Browns could win a Super Bowl because if Joe Flacco can do it, Deshaun Watson can do it.
Dude, but my whole point is I think Deshaun Watson's gonna have a great year next year. Like, y'all keep joking about this until he starts balling next year, and then y'all gonna be like, oh, okay, well, he's not bad. Of course he's good. He's always been good. Like, no, he's a good quarterback. My phone fell because I'm so freaking pissed off. Deshaun
Oh, we're gonna get there eventually. Even your phone disagrees with you.
Okay. Put this right
Phone's
here.
like, not this shit again.
Deshaun Watson is about to have a spectacular season this year. And on top of that, Kevin Stefanski is going to be a fantastic coach. The Cleveland Browns are going to win 12 games this year, by the way. Going to be a great offense. Deshaun Watson going to be doing his thing. Going to be going on passes. Yeah.
Bet.
It's just the phone kept on falling. It just threw off my entire flow.
No, I get it. Look, I have said multiple times on this show that I don't think Deshaun Watson's a bad quarterback. I said he was going to be rusty. I also said that after he like this upcoming season, he's going to be better than he was. I still don't know if I think he's going to be the same like elite, like Patrick Mahomes type of player that he was in Houston. I don't know if that's coming back.
Well, why don't you think it can come back though?
It could. I'm not saying it couldn't. It absolutely could. I'm just saying I don't know if it will.
But why wouldn't it though?
Because he took 2 years off in the middle of his best,
I'm just saying, do we really think, can we really think that last year, do you think last year is what he's going to be?
No, absolutely not. I think he's going to be much better than that. But last year was not good.
So with a coach like Kevin Stefanski and the type of offense that he has, and we have Nick Chubb, Jerome Forbes, and all the weapons around him, there are no excuses anymore. What I'm saying now. This is what I'm saying. There are no excuses anymore. They did everything they could possibly do to win. At the end of the day, the Cleveland Browns have done everything possible to win. Like, y'all can't say that the Haslams and Andrew Berry and Kevin Stefanski didn't do every single possible thing to win. They traded picks. They traded players. They got rid of coaches. They fired people. They hired people. They done literally everything. This has to work. Like, it isn't. It's either this work or this has to work.
This either works or you sell the team. Like, honestly.
Wait, hold up. My alarm just went off.
Yeah, you're fine. All right, so That gives me a good opportunity to talk a little bit about like transition a little bit because, like I do think Deshaun Watson is going to be better. I worry the reason I don't think he's going to get back to like his like top potential elite level is because like you're saying it has to work with the Browns. I'm sorry, Thompson. It doesn't have to work with the Browns. Like it might not. And if it doesn't, Kevin Stefanski's not going to be around. And I just worry that that's going to like Baker Mayfield could have been amazing, but because of all the turnover and everything, it just didn't work out for them. I feel like the same could potentially happen.
Yeah, no, I think, man, look, I think it's going to be fine. I really do. I guess I'm kind of scared about it because I know that like it's a crazy situation, and it's like a constant fear for me being a Browns fan because I am a big fan of Deshaun Watson. I'm a big fan of him as a quarterback, and he's always been one of my favorite quarterbacks, and he's finally playing on my team, and it feels like I can't enjoy that. And that's was like the most hurtful thing because like I'm like, oh man, this is the guy I always wanted to be a Browns quarterback. And I think he can do all these great things. And people look at me crazy when I think that. Like people literally look at me crazy when I say that. People literally look at me crazy when I tell them that I believe Deshaun Watson is going to be an amazing quarterback.
Well, I don't think you're crazy. I think it's possible that he could get back to that level. I just think I've
seen him play before.
I think he's going to be damn good. I think he's going to be
seen him play twice.
Top 10 quarterback. I just don't know if he's going to be back to top 5. That's all I'm saying.
Man, I've seen that man play twice, man. I've seen him play twice. Both times I've seen him play, it was like he just took over. The first time, he was like, I seen him play in Texas, and it was insane. And the second time I seen him play, it was this cold game, and he just almost put the whole team on his back and won. Man, he's insane. He's so good.
That's fair. A very rough way to transition to the next section. Oh, we didn't grade. What's your grade for the Browns this offseason?
A+. No, I'm talking shit. I just get mad. I mean, like, it's the offseason, dude. Anybody can win the offseason.
Yeah, I mean, that's
what am I going to do? Talk shit? Yeah. The Browns did good in the offseason. And then people going to be like, in November, going to be like, oh, what happened to the Browns winning the offseason? All the players they signed with Rowe started turning on the coaches and stuff, man.
Yeah. You know? I'm not going to lie, Tom. I'm right there with you. I'm giving the Browns an A. Like I don't really see a hole in the plan right now. Like the hole could come in things just not working out. We've seen this happen before. But but as far as like just having a plan goes, this is a great plan. That's a lot of what I would have done if I was trying to like objectively do something for the Browns.
Kyle, I'm just going to be quiet. I'm just going to be quiet, Kyle.
Okay.
I agree, but like at the same time, I just don't want me agreeing. Just kind of like throw my, what I mean. If I want to talk shit, yeah, I think the Browns did this shit. This offseason. Okay. I think Andrew Berry did this shit. Andrew Berry did the shit.
Well, how about this? You said we'll do it this way because like us, like me being objective about the Bengals happens. By the way, I want to insist on that. But for the sake of like, I'm a Bengals fan, you're a Browns fan. Let's just say, we'll go based off of like your grade for the Bengals is an A-. My grade for the Browns is an A, and we'll call that the wholly objective take there, right?
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay.
So I like that. Yeah, that's good stuff. I agree.
Couple comments I want to address that will help us transition to the state of the AFC North. Ethan mentioned that he's taking a vacation to Seattle. You plan on wearing your Broncos Russell Wilson jersey, and you want to? How much do we want to bet that someone's going to yell at you? I don't know if anybody's going to yell at you. Even if I think people are going to make fun of you for that. Like Russell Wilson does not have the best reputation right now outside of the career he had in Seattle. So I mean,
he's washed.
It might be fun for you.
He's washed.
I don't think he's washed.
He's washed.
But the perception is that he's washed. So I don't know if anybody's gonna yell at you. People might pity you.
No, man, look who he's dating, man. He's dating Sierra, man. She's like, what's that episode of South Park? The suck of this episode?
She's a succubus? Okay.
No, she like this monster. She like this monster.
And then the other question, the other thing I want to address, Mikey said, who remembers when the Saints made the Steelers look stupid when they failed a fake punt and they started celebrating just to realize they didn't get it? I don't remember that. I was wondering if you remember that.
No.
No, that's awesome. That's awesome. That I don't.
I gotta look that up on the internet.
I don't remember when that happened at all.
Fell punt.
Y'all let me know when that happened, and I'll definitely look up that highlight. That sounds hilarious.
Is it a fake punt? Yeah. All right, cool. State of AFC North. Oh,
State of the AFC North. Crypt Keeper wants to remind you to like maintain your expectations about Deshaun Watson because of our experience with Carson Palmer. No, yeah. Look here. That's what I'm saying. That right there is what I'm saying. That's what I think. Carson Palmer is what I think Deshaun Watson's going to be. That's what I'm saying. I feel like that's a realistic expectation because he's the kind of guy, he could be one of the guys who's like top whatever in passing yards a couple of years. I just don't think.
I think the reason why Deshaun Watson was so good is because he was clutch in the last 2 minutes. That's why he's so good.
Carson Palmer was clutch in the last 2 minutes in 2009. Yeah. That was a hell of a season.
That's how you do it. That's how y'all was able to win the games y'all was able to win. And like
definitely that year.
You know, but like he's had that in his blood though, man. This dude, man.
2018 apparently.
Man.
But anyway, to get on to the state of the AFC. To get on to the state of the AFC North, let's start out with the Steelers. Let's start out with those, poop farts. Because quite frankly, I've got a lot more to say about the Ravens. So let's start out with the start out with the Steelers. Notable. I don't know if you've been keeping up with the Steelers like moves this offseason, because quite frankly, there hasn't been much to talk about. In my opinion, they're the biggest thing that's happened for the Steelers this offseason was the fact that they cut Miles Jack, which I think is a stupid move. Like that was dumb. Like Miles Jack is, in my opinion, one of the most underrated linebackers in the NFL. They cut him, and I think that was dumb. They also lost Cam Sutton to Detroit, which that's a big one. Cam Sutton's a damn good cornerback.
Dude, they about to be bad.
I think they're
so mid.
I think they're going to be bad, right? Like the biggest things I could say, like as far as praising the Steelers this offseason, I love. I hate it because I hate the Steelers, but from an objective perspective, I love the fact that they let Terrell Edmonds sign with Philly and they replaced him with Keanu Neal. Like Keanu Neal is an upgrade. They're paying a little bit more for him, but they're paying it's a $2 million difference. And Keanu Neal is way better than Terrell Edmonds. So that's an upgrade. But that's an upgrade at safety. Like, how much impact is that really going to make for the Steelers? I don't know what the hell the Steelers are doing right now. Like, I wonder if they're just tanking to see like when their next Ben Roethlisberger is going to show up. Like, I don't know
what Pittsburgh's doing. I have no idea what Pittsburgh's doing. Pittsburgh is going down. I think Pittsburgh is just arrogant. Like, I just think Pittsburgh is just arrogant, honestly. But somehow, look, Kyle, I won't be real with you. But somehow
they're going to win 9 games.
I know. Look, Cal, I say this every offseason. We're like, we do this every offseason. Man, fuck Pittsburgh doing. What is Pittsburgh doing? Like, come on, what are they doing? Well, they suck, right? They ain't doing nothing.
Yeah.
But somehow they win like 11 games.
Yeah.
Wow.
No. Look. I'm happy with what we're getting. I'm happy with what we're getting to an extent.
I can't do this again. I can't do this again.
Listen.
Look, I'm just gonna say, just do your thing, Pittsburgh. Like, I know you're not going to win a Super Bowl. They're not going to win a Super Bowl. I'm just going to say that.
That's what I'm
just going to say
saying.
that.
If
I'm
the
just going to
Steelers,
say that.
I feel like the
gonna-
Steelers are gearing
The
up
Steelers
to
are
go
like a B. They're like a B, man. They're like a B. You're like, man, fuck you, B, right? You know?
Right.
Fuck that B, right? You're like, I ain't fit a B. And then that bitch sting you, be like, ah, damn, Pittsburgh.
The
Damn, that hurts. Fuck
I feel
y'all.
like the Steelers are gearing up to go to win 8 to 9 games for the next 10 years, which I'd be down with. Because the Steelers keep like way overperforming for how talented their team is, but that still doesn't mean they're really doing much of anything, which I'm fine with. Because if they stay around like the 7, 8, 9 win like streak forever, they're not going to get a good draft pick. And they're gonna like not make the playoffs. I'm down with it. You know, Exotic soy sauce is giving the Steelers an A+ for the offseason. I'll give them an A+ for the offseason too, because they have done a damn thing. I'm happy with that.
What, man? But the thing is, like, I got this like low-key fear that Kenny Pickett just magically becomes good at quarterback, and then he's just gonna be like, man, damn, this motherfucker.
that would be a hell of a jump. I mean, look, dude, Kenny Pickett's got some talent. I'm not gonna
like if Kenny Pickett got like, you know how funny it will be if Kenny Pickett got good too.
That would not be funny. That'd be terrible.
No, because it will be the funniest shit. Because Pittsburgh people will be like, yeah, we got this kid named Kenny Pickett, man. Came from Pitt. He was born to be a Steeler. And then now he win a Super Bowl. There's another thing. And then Pittsburgh fans are going to be like, yeah, the Yellow Nation. And they're going to make fun of us for another 50 years. It's like the freaking Death Star, right?
I was gonna ask who hurt you, but then I remembered that the Browns hurt you.
No, we just lost to the Steelers so many times. I'm just gonna be just like, I'm giving y'all roses, Pittsburgh. Fuck y'all.
Exotic soy sauce brought up a good point. Patrick Peterson signed with Pitt after, by the way, talking about how he wanted to sign with the Bengals. He was like, I'm going to sign with the Bengals. And then like the Bengals were like, no, go away, Patrick Peterson. And, and he ended up signing with Pittsburgh. Fuck Patrick Peterson. Fuck Patrick Peterson. Like honestly, first of all, that guy's like 33 years old. I'm not worried about Patrick Peterson. Like that's a big name move, but it's not like a big, like, it's not moving the needle for me, honestly. Pittsburgh has no cheerleaders.
Yo, by the way, okay, I might be real with y'all. I don't think Pittsburgh's gonna do anything great this year. I think they might win 8 or 9 games, and he said at most. They always find a way to do it, so whatever. But I don't think Pittsburgh's gonna win a Super Bowl. That's not what I'm worried about. Can we talk about Baltimore now?
Yeah, we can talk about Baltimore real quick.
Okay.
Mikey, I see that that clip happened in 2018. I'm going to have to look that up afterwards because that sounds hilarious. Fuck Pittsburgh. But anyway, Baltimore. We have a lot to talk about with Baltimore, but I think the one that Thomas wants to get off his chest is about Lamar Jackson, so go ahead.
Well, first of all, I just low-key got a feeling Baltimore's up to something. Baltimore is up to something.
Up to what?
I don't know. They're up to something.
I don't think they're up to anything.
Baltimore's like Mojo Jojo. They just signed Odell Beckham.
And?
I think they're up to something.
I think Odell Beckham's washed.
Oh, yeah. I'm not saying like Odell Beckham is going to be like, I don't know what they're going to get out of Odell Beckham. You know, I mean, he looked good in the Super Bowl, but he might not be that good in Baltimore. But
2 years ago, before an ACL injury,
they're up to something, dude. I'm just saying they're not going to give Lamar Jackson his contract. He will end up trading him.
Look, okay. So first of all, I want to point out, I think the Ravens doing the tag that they put on Lamar Jackson was a brilliant move because they correctly assessed that the rest of the NFL isn't all that interested in Lamar Jackson because frankly, he isn't that great. Like he's got really high potential, but like when's the last time he even sniffed that potential, quite frankly? Like he's never taken the next step as a passer ever. Like, I mean, he's always had some potential to be a good passer, but he's just never taken that next step as a passer. As a runner, I think the NFL's figured him out.
Wait, hold up. So what you're saying is that I was just right all along about Lamar Jackson.
Well, I think we were right about. I've been saying the same stuff you've been saying.
Wait, hold up. So, what you saying is that the whole time we were just right.
Yeah, exactly. Because
dude, so much people talk so much shit on me, man. I want to drink my water.
I'm telling you, Lamar Jackson's not yeah, he won MVP that one year. And that was that was an isolated incident. He can be fun. He can be. But he's not worth the contract that he's asking for. And the Ravens were brilliant putting the tag on him that they did, because nobody's probably going to want to pay that much more for Lamar Jackson than what the Ravens are paying him on the tag. They're sure as hell not going to want to give up a bunch of draft picks for him, because you know why? Because they're going to have to replace him in a few years anyway.
He can't throw, man. His problem is he can't throw.
Well, he can throw, but he's not like elite at throwing.
He's not exactly. He's when he had the season, we had the same passing stats as Baker Mayfield with an injured shoulder. I'm like, well, Baker Mayfield has an injured shoulder. So if Baker Mayfield has an injured shoulder and he's getting the same passing stats as Lamar Jackson, and Lamar Jackson is fully healthy, then that's a problem. I mean, I don't know. Like, I mean, I know that they, look at Lamar Jackson. Like, all right, whatever.
Let's talk about how we define fully healthy, because I don't think Lamar Jackson's been fully healthy since probably his MVP season. I don't know if he's going to be fully healthy again. That's the thing.
And that's also the other part about it, is that when
Lamar Jackson's going to be a cautionary tale for many young kids that are.
Yeah, so we always talk about the idea of running quarterbacks. I just think that there's nothing wrong with being a quarterback that runs. I just think there should be a balance of it.
Right.
Like the reason, I think that having the ability to scramble around in a pocket is a great thing.
Like prime Deshaun Watson.
But when you do that though, your prime is going to be the length of a running back. And the problem is Lamar Jackson, if he doesn't have that peak athleticism can mask his passing, because then he can combine both. But when he's lacked his peak athleticism, his passing game is just lacking.
Listen, Tom.
He can't use his passing game to make up for his athleticism at all.
Who is more talented, Lamar Jackson or Jalen Hurts? Who's more talented? We're just talking about talent. Who's more talented?
Ooh. Jalen Hurts.
I think you're insane. I think Lamar Jackson is the most talented quarterback that's played in the NFL in many, many, many years. Okay, but my point I was going to say.
I know what you mean. You mean okay, I get what you're saying.
So Lamar Jackson,
I get what you're saying.
Who has more upside is what I'm saying. Who has more upside if they reach their full potential?
If they reach their full potential, man, I just don't ever think Lamar Jackson will be able to throw like Jalen Hurts can.
I think he could, because we've seen him make some damn good throws. It's just he doesn't consistently make those throws. That's the thing. And Jalen Hurts doesn't always make those throws. But here's what I was going to say.
He does have a strong arm. He does have a strong arm.
Here's what I was going to say. In my opinion, Lamar Jackson is wildly more talented than Jalen Hurts. But who's been to a Super Bowl?
Jalen Hurts.
Exactly. Jalen Hurts has been to a Super Bowl because Jalen Hurts' style of play is more sustainable. It works better. Like I said, Lamar Jackson is wildly talented, but I think the NFL's figured out how to defend against him. And so it's like you have all the talent in the world, but from a strategic standpoint, he doesn't have that upper hand anymore.
He hasn't won a lot of big games lately against big quarterbacks. How many times has Burrow beat him? How many times has Mahomes beat him? How many times has Allen beat him?
Right. So as far as the Ravens go, did we finalize a grade on the Steelers? By the way, I don't think you ever gave a grade on the Steelers.
No, I don't want. I'm not doing it.
Okay.
I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it.
Thomas is refraining. I'm gonna give the Steelers.
I'm just sick of Pittsburgh, man. Shut up, Pittsburgh. Just shut up, Pittsburgh, for 5 minutes. Shut the fuck up, Pittsburgh.
Yeah, that's true. I'm gonna give the Steelers a C because that's what I was saying before. I don't think they've really improved. I don't think they've really gotten much worse. I don't think they've really done much of anything. So I'm gonna give the Steelers a C so far. But the Ravens, big moves from the Ravens pretty much include losing people. So they lost Josh Oliver, who's probably, in my opinion, the best blocking tight end in the NFL. They lost him to the Vikings. They lost Ben Powers, a starting offensive guard for them, to the Broncos.
Yeah. Dude, the best thing about the Ravens, though, honestly, is that I said they're up to something, but you know what? I'm just coming down to earth about it because, like, maybe I'm a little emotional about losing Odell Beckham. I'm like, oh man, what are they doing, Odell Beckham? But then you think about it, no, they're imploding because, like, they have a disgruntled situation with quarterback, and now they're losing all these players, and I really have a real plan. Man, the Ravens about to fall apart.
Yeah,
I'm all for it.
They lost Calais Campbell to Atlanta. They haven't re-signed Marcus Peters yet, and it kind of feels like they're not going to. They also lost. They haven't re-signed Justin Houston, Kyle Fuller, Sammy Watkins hasn't come back, and I don't think he's coming back. Demarcus Robinson hasn't come back. I don't think he's coming back. So,
nobody knows what's going to happen at quarterback right now. So
nobody knows what the hell's happening at quarterback.
So who's going to want to sign with them? So nobody knows the situation. Nobody knows the style of offense they want to do. It's not going to be good for Baltimore in a second. You got to realize that the general manager that they had that built those big teams in Baltimore is gone.
Yeah.
Bye, Mr. Newsome, former Browns tight end. I hate that guy. I don't care that you didn't win a Super Bowl in Cleveland. Fuck you, dude. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care if he's a Browns Hall of Famer. Fuck that guy, man. Okay. Fuck that guy. You went with the enemy. I don't care why we honor you. I don't care, man. I don't care you're a Browns Hall of Famer. Fuck you, man. Fuck that guy.
I mean, I've kind of said the same thing before, and Bengals fans hate me for saying it sometimes, but I've kind of said the same thing before about Ken Anderson because
it's not like we won a Super Bowl with him.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Ken Anderson, is probably going to be a Bengals Hall of Famer, but he never won a Super Bowl with the Bengals, and he did win a Super Bowl one time as a quarterback coach for the Pittsburgh Steelers. So, as much as Bengals fans love Ken Anderson and Ken Anderson's come back to Cincinnati, he's done a lot of great things in the city and stuff like that. I'm still a little salty that you went and helped the Steelers win the Super Bowl in 2005, sir.
Yeah. Look, my thing about the Ravens though is that it just feels like they lost stability and looks like they've just been going downhill lately. And now, you got Harbaugh there. He's a good coach, so you're always going to have him. So there's always a chance that he figures something out. He's been doing his thing for a while. He's a good coach. You got to give Harbaugh his roses. So you always got that. So you always got to give the Ravens the benefit of the doubt. But at the same time, you're looking at it from afar. You're like, yeah, that looks kind of bad, man. That your quarterbacks causing all this drama on the internet. Coming from a Browns fan, when you having all this drama around your quarterback like this, it's not good long term. So it kind of feels like, for me, the Ravens are dysfunctional right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I just never seen it before, so it's just alien to me because I'm like, oh, this happens to us all the time. We always been dealing with shit like this. But when I'm looking at other people, I'm like, ooh, that ain't good, man. It's like going through a divorce. And then you see your friend might go through a divorce. You're like, yo, I know exactly what's going on here. I've been in 5 of these. I can tell you exactly what's going to happen next, Joe. You about to lose your money and you about to lose your kids, bro.
Ravens about to lose a lot of their money. But listen, so as far as grading the Ravens goes, I'm personally I'm going to give them a D because it's been I think it's been a pretty like the whoop-de-doo. You brought in Nelson Aguilar and Odell Beckham. You brought in a washed-up ass Odell Beckham, and you brought in.
I'm not going to say that about Odell. I love you, Odell. I love you, Odell.
Yeah, but that's another thing I wanted to talk to you about. Baker Mayfield allegedly turned down the Ravens. He just said, "I'm not going to play for the Ravens." Odell Beckham's like, "Give me the Ravens, bro."
Dang, the Ravens are trying to bring in Odell Beckham and Baker Mayfield. Well, they're really trying to do that. Was that their plan?
I don't think they were planning on bringing in both, but then like I think if Baker Mayfield signs in Baltimore,
I think Harbaugh would. I think Harbaugh will be the perfect coach for Baker Mayfield. Like I think Harbaugh is seeing like potential in Baker. I think Harbaugh is seeing potential in Baker. He's like, I can do some things with this guy. I know Harbaugh has. I know for a fact he has. Like Harbaugh never said like Harbaugh, because Harbaugh is seeing like some of Baker Mayfield's best games. That's not a coincidence to me. That's me thinking Harbaugh was looking at Baker like, I can do something with that guy. He definitely thought about that before. Quite
possibly. What's your grade for the Ravens this offseason?
Well, I love you, Odell. So, you cool. I'm not going to talk shit about you. You cool people, man. Go do your thing. Go get your money, bro. C-, because they gave Odell Beckham his money. His shit.
Is that the whole reason you're giving them a C-?
Yeah, because it'll be an F otherwise.
But it wasn't. Wait. You gave them a whole grade plus a little extra just because they signed Odell Beckham Jr., who's like probably washed up, but they gave him $18 million guaranteed.
Yeah, man. Like, go with your money, bro. It's stuff.
Dude, you know what? Like for me,
I'm just saying. I'm just happy Odell Beckham got money.
For me, the Ravens and Steelers had A+ off seasons because I don't want them to be good. I don't think bringing in Odell Beckham Jr. for $18 million guaranteed is a good move. Like, he's 30 years old. He's had two major injuries.
It's a horrible move, Kyle. Kyle, gun to my head, it's a horrible move. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying. Odell Beckham's the boy. Go get your money, bro. I told you in reality it's an F. It's an F. It's an F. It's an F. The Ravens are going to be bad, and it's hilarious. Okay, it's funny. It's very funny how bad the Ravens are going to be. Hilarious. They stole my team. It's funny as hell. But they gave Odell Beckham his money, man. Shout out to Odell. Go get your money, bro. So they get a C- for that.
All right, then. Okay, then. Whatever.
Odell's the boy, man. Odell is the boy. I can't talk shit about Odell. I'm sorry. I can't. You can't, man. He's
Mikey, I'm so sorry about your luck, but I think Baker Mayfield is actually going to have a renaissance in Tampa. Not trying to hate on our Saints buddy, but I think
that's his division. Oh, he's about to tear up that division.
Yeah.
With that great weather, he's going to tear up that division.
I think I think it's going to be the Bucs.
The Bucs ain't going nowhere.
I think the Falcons have some potential.
Baker about to do his thing.
I'm sorry, Mikey, but the Saints, I just don't know what the hell the Saints are doing. Like, the Saints...
Baker's about to be cold. Baker's about to be cold in an NFC. Like, Baker's a top 10 quarterback in the NFC. Yeah, he is.
We'll see about that.
Baker's a top 10 quarterback. In the NFC, Baker's a top 10 quarterback. In the NFC, there are not 10 quarterbacks better than Baker Mayfield.
You mean if you're just only counting if you're talking about ranking the 16 starting quarterbacks in the NFL and is Baker top 10 among them? I guess.
No, the NFC. The NFC. Like in the AFC.
That's what I meant.
In the AFC, Baker Mayfield is like 15 because the AFC is so stacked at quarterback. But in the NFC, Baker Mayfield is like top 8. Like who's the quarterback in the AFC? Who's really that much better than Baker Mayfield in the AFC? Who's gonna put over him, huh? Kyler Murray. Are we really gonna put Kyler Murray over him? Yeah, probably.
Well, I mean, yes.
Maybe.
Like, okay, so
who would you rather have go in the season next year? Baker Mayfield or Kyler
Murray? Baker Mayfield because I don't know.
You know what I mean? You see what I'm saying?
You have to think about
this how bad the NFC is at quarterback. Like, damn.
Okay, so here are the NFC quarterbacks. Here are the NFC
the top 3 quarterbacks.
You've got in the NFC. You've got. God, this is a terrible list. You got Desmond Ridder. Appears to be the starter in Atlanta right now, which I love him for what he did at UC, but I don't know. Kyler Murray, which Andy Dalton is the starter in Carolina, and so I'm gonna root for the Panthers. I don't believe in them though. Justin Fields, oddly enough, as many problems as he has, Justin Fields might be one of the best quarterbacks in the NFC. Is he better than Baker Mayfield? I think Justin Fields might be better than Baker Mayfield. Is he going to be better than Baker Mayfield? I don't know if he will be, but I think right now I'd take Justin Fields over Baker Mayfield. Dak Prescott, I think, is better.
Okay, yeah.
Jared Goff might be, because Jared Goff was a lot better with the Lions last year than we all thought he would be.
Yeah, he was.
This list says Aaron Rodgers for the Packers, but I think let's say Jordan Love for now. If it's Aaron Rodgers, I think I'm not sure if Baker Mayfield, even now, I don't know if Baker Mayfield's better than Aaron Rodgers. But he's definitely better than Jordan Love.
By the way, Cal, why doesn't Aaron Rodgers to the Jets not scare me at all?
Because the Jets don't have any wide receivers.
Like, it's not really just that. It just
because it's going to
like
be the same thing as Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay.
In Green Bay, and then he's going to come to the AFC, and it's going to be trash. Like, I don't
know if he's going to be trash, but like he's not going to be a big threat.
I don't think that he's old.
So the Rams is Matthew Stafford starting for the Rams? Like I heard he might be retiring, but
what?
Is Matthew Stafford better than Baker Mayfield? He might be, but
is he playing?
That's the thing. I think he is, but I'm not sure. Derek Carr. I think Derek Carr is probably better than Baker Mayfield. But it's like
that's what I'm saying.
I'm not sure. That's the thing. Like he's definitely like Baker Mayfield's definitely got higher upside.
Look, dude. Like how many of those quarterbacks are you just sitting here like?
That's the thing. No, it's like, well, maybe. Jalen Hurts is definitely better than Baker Mayfield. But in the right situation,
yeah. I mean, like, and then like you're like, whoa. Then you got the weapons of Tampa Bay that Tampa Bay got. They got weapons. They're probably gonna make the playoffs.
I got
it's the NFC. It's the NFC, dude. Watch them make the playoffs. If Baker Mayfield plays healthy,
Kirk Cousins is better than Baker Mayfield.
But like, think about it, dude. If Baker Mayfield plays healthy, and then just play like Baker Mayfield in 2020, or Baker Mayfield just plays his best, right? Let's just say Baker Mayfield has his best season.
Brock Purdy.
He plays his full potential. And Tampa Bay could go like 10 wins in the NFC playing those teams.
Smith.
Like, They make the playoffs. They ain't winning no Super Bowl.
So here's the thing. Right now, I've got 7 quarterbacks I can count in the NFC who are definitely better than Baker Mayfield. 7 quarterbacks, and then I'm kind of iffy on Derek Carr. Like Derek Carr might be.
But in AFC, he'd be like.
In AFC, he'd be like, right. I mean, he'd be a backup in the like. I think Baker Mayfield would start for the Colts.
Yeah.
But you're right. Like the NFC's quarterback situation is pretty rough. Like and when I'm saying Baker Mayfield's like the 8th best quarterback in the NFC, that's not saying much. Like that's not necessarily a compliment.
Like Tampa's making the playoffs. Tampa's making the playoffs. They're probably gonna win that division.
I would love to see. Again, all apologies, Mikey. I'm not trying to like the Tampa just ends up like constantly getting quarterbacks I like.
No, he's not. Nah, he's not.
Carr is not way better than Baker. Carr might.
What has Derek Carr ever done?
Derek Carr might be more reliable than Baker.
Wait, hold on.
But not by much.
Derek Carr had more opportunity than anybody, man. Like this dude had umpteen opportunities to succeed, and he just never had.
And he's done what he's like Andy Dalton though. It's like here's the thing: Derek Carr's floor is higher than Baker Mayfield's for sure, but Baker Mayfield's ceiling is higher than Derek Carr, like without a doubt.
Baker Mayfield's so insane. I mean, like, dude, honestly though, the thing is, Baker Mayfield got like. When Baker Mayfield has those moments, like Baker Mayfield will be doing stuff where he just goes for like a passing streak, where he completes like 20 passes in a row. It's just like one of the most insane things you could ever see. Like he gets hot. He can get hot. And he's playing in warm weather. Now that he's playing some warm weather, dude, that's perfect for him. He's gonna do great in Tampa. He's gonna do fantastic in Tampa, dude. That is definitely he need warm weather. Ooh, he's gonna be dangerous down there.
All right. Well, I think that's pretty much all we got for this episode. You got anything else you want to talk about, Thomas?
No, I think the Jets are gonna be trash. I think Aaron Rodgers is gonna do horrible in the Jets.
I don't think so. I don't think the Jets are gonna be like people acting like Aaron Rodgers. Now, first of all, this is if it happens. He still hasn't been traded.
Oh, dude, wouldn't it be funny if you don't go there? Oh, my God, that'd be funny.
That would be funny.
I'm going to San Francisco, y'all. Full house time. I got nothing. Let's get out of here. Don't forget the outro.
All right. Well, anyway, that's all we got for this one, guys. So y'all can always catch more of what I do at Kyle Phelps 92 on Twitter, Facebook.com/Phelps, Butt Fumble Sports. We're this podcast. We're on the Spot Pod Network. Check us out on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Actually, no, I don't think we're on Spotify and Apple Podcasts anymore. We're definitely on Podbean. I know that we're on Podbean.
Yeah.
My channel, Kyle Phelps, is on YouTube. Go check it out. I got another video probably coming out the next day or two. Thomas, he's T_star94 on Twitter and Instagram, and he's the Thomas
Got a new song come out.
On TikTok got a new song coming up soon, and
May 5th.
I don't want to drop anything until we confirm anything, but there might be a project going on between me and Thomas at some point coming up here soon that may have something to do with his music. So we'll see.
I'm going to talk about that.
Yeah. I'm not going to talk about that to the people yet. We might talk about that after the broadcast ends.
Oh yeah. Okay, you already piqued my interest. Just everybody watch out. May 5th. May 5th is when the new song drops.
All right.
New song May 5th, y'all.
Anyway, Mikey, Crypt Keeper, Ethan, you were in here earlier. Exotic Soy Sauce. All of y'all who are watching today, thank you for watching. Like I said, you can check this episode is going to be up on Podbean before too long. Check out all the other great podcasts on the Spot Pod Network. Yeah, that's all we got. So I'll leave y'all with a hootie.
Go Browns. Don't forget the intro. Outro.
Don't forget that. I almost did. I was about to hit the.
Welcome to the Battle of Ohio podcast, where we follow the revival of the historic rivalry between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Cleveland Browns.
Like, I'm going to be completely honest. Thank God you said something. But anyway, bye, everybody.